What are the red flags to watch out for if you are dating somebody? Red flags, what are they? I want to do a just two video series. First, I want to talk about when it comes to dating. What are the things that if you see these things, like if you're dating somebody and these things come up, if you notice these patterns, you know it might be time to bounce. It might be time to run away. I really want to get into this because unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people, they end up in relationships. They're dating somebody because it's a good vibe in the beginning. Y'all are feeling each other. You're attracted to one another. Everything is good. And then something in your spirit just doesn't feel right. Like over time, something doesn't feel right, but a lot of us ignore that. And people will end up and continue the relationship. And sometimes it continues into engagement, it continues into marriage, and then ultimately things don't work. And so, what are some of those red flags? Then, after this video, I want to do a follow up with some green flags. All right. So, what are the things that if you see in your relationship are good signs, signs that this is somebody that you should be with. Now, full disclaimer, my pastor of my church, this was actually his idea first. He had a whole sermon series about this. So this is not an original idea. He actually wrote a book about it, a whole thing. So shout out to Pastor Edwards. I'm not ripping off your idea. I'm just going to give my perspective on it. But so red flags, red flags. And I'm just going to go off of the cuff here a few. So, one of the first that I'm going to say, one of the very first things, if you notice this, if you are dating somebody, talking to somebody, and you notice them doing this, listen, if they do not support you, if they don't support you, and here's what I mean, just in general, when you tell them some good news or something that happened in your day or something that happened at your job, in your business, or it could be anything. It could be something just in your daily life that you're really excited about. Are they happy for you? Are they supportive of you? Right? If you have a goal and you hit some major milestone, or maybe you even have an idea of something that you want to do, is that person supportive of your dream? Are they supportive of your goal? Right? Um, Huge red flag if they're not, because a lot of people are very selfish. A lot of people are very selfish. Here's another one. I'm having a little flashback here thinking about this one from some past situations. Is the person always talking about themselves? Are they always talking about themselves? Like when you all have interactions, how often is that person asking about you? How often are they asking about your day? Like, how often do y'all have conversations about you versus conversations about them? When they're talking about themselves, are they talking about themselves and then there's no regard or no follow up asking, hey, well, how was your day? Or tell me a little bit more about that thing that you were talking about. Like a curiosity about what's going on in your world, a curiosity about what's going on in your life. If they don't have that and they don't express that, hey, red flag. Sorry, red flag. Another one, very important. Does this person share the same belief system and the same general values that you share? Okay. Now, here's the thing. This is very important. It doesn't mean that you and this person have to agree on everything, because you don't. There are some things that fundamentally me and my wife just don't agree on. Like there's certain things that I've realized after 12 years of marriage, I don't think we're ever going to agree on. So when me and my wife are hanging out and we have a movie on, right? To her, she's very big on quality time. If I even peek at my phone, like if I even for a split second take a look at my phone, then in her mind, it's not quality time anymore. It's just not. Now, to me, not that big of a deal. Like, to me, if we're sitting there watching a movie and she's got her phone or whatever, and, she's looking at a reel here and there, looking at something on YouTube, like, I don't care. I mean, the movie is on. We're still watching the movie. We're doing our thing. Doesn't work that way for her. So I already know if we're sitting watching something, I have to be 100% tuned in to that, right? So anyway, just an example, but I'm talking more about things like your core beliefs. your core values. Like, who do you pray to? What is your spiritual belief and your foundation? What is your view on raising children, right? What are your views on politics? What are your views on, like, there are a lot of different things. And I'm not really too big into politics, to be honest. I'm not really a heavy political person like that. But that's just an example of a thing. But the point is, there are some beliefs and some values that you really want to assess and understand what that person believes, right? And it's not so much about you agreeing on everything again to, just bring that point home. It's really about, at your core, how do you view the world and how does this person view the world? And is there similarity there with things? So, very important. Another red flag: do they respect you? Do they respect you? So, guys, here's the thing: you have to really watch the way that somebody talks, not just to you, but to other people. Because I'm a firm believer that the way somebody treats other people, they will eventually treat you that way. So if this person is gossiping about other people, talking about it behind other people's back, if they in general have just a toxic kind of energy at times where just toxic things seem to surround this person, like different situations they seem to find themselves in drama, like if those kind of things are happening, and if you're hearing them talk in a way that includes just toxicity in it, like if you're witnessing all of those things and you're assuming that's never going to happen to you or you're never going to become a part of that, that's just not true. I hate to tell you that. You will become a part of that toxicity and that behavior. Like, it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. So really be intentional and pay attention when somebody is talking. People will tell you a lot. And it's one of the reasons I started doing this, prior to meeting my wife. When I would go on certain dates and I would meet people, I would spend a lot of times listening. I started doing this thing where literally I spent time just listening at times. Not that I wasn't talking at all, but just really being observant. Like, try to become more observant in your conversations because people will tell you a lot. They will tell you a lot. Another red flag: look at their friends, look at who they surround themselves with. The thing about people is most people become like the five people they spend the most time with. That's a well known fact, right? So if you look at the friends, if you look at who the person is always around, the question to ask yourself is, could you picture yourself around those people and that type of energy for the rest of your life? Is that what you want? Right? Now, I mean, some people got like, a crazy friend or two, whatever. Like, that's one thing. But I'm saying the overall vibe of their friend group and the people they're around the most, just the overall, what you observe in that. What does it tell you? Like, what does it tell you about that person and about who they are? And the last one is a little subtle, but it's important. Do they do things without you asking them to do it? So I believe that if I'm going somewhere, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, if I'm going to go get some food, if I'm going to go get some ice cream, get some whatever, the first thing that comes to my mind is to ask my partner, the person I'm with, would they like something as well? Or if I'm just out in general, I'm thinking about how could I make that person's day better? What could I do to help them? So if that means, hey, you know what? I know that she's usually got some drive up orders and, she may not feel like going out to go get that. Hey, let me hit her up and see if she wants me to pick that up for her. Or, hey, I'm about to go pick up some cookies from this spot or some dessert or whatever. Let me hit her with a text. Hey, babe, would you, I'm going over here. Would you like something? Right? If this person that you're with or dating, if you find that they are going to places and they're just showing up and they've got their own food, they've got their own dessert, they haven't ever asked you if you need something, they need them to pick something up for you or anything like that. Like, they're taking care of themselves, but they're not really asking you. if you need any help or if they're not asking if you would like something in different situations. Like this one gets missed a lot because it's kind of subtle. But I'm telling you, like if that person is not really doing those kind of things, there's a certain level of selfishness there and lack of consideration, I would say, right? Because they're not really thinking about anybody other than themselves. And this really translates into marriage. Like I will say that, my wife, if she is going to go somewhere to do something, like she'll just randomly, and sometimes she won't even like send me a text or anything. Like she'll just come home with the thing, like, hey, babe, I was out, I got some donuts. I figured you would want something. So here you go, and I do the same thing, like that's what we try to do. And I'm going to continue to say this on videos, like I am not perfect. My wife is not perfect. And by no means is that me saying that. But at the end of the day, we do think about one another. And I think it's important in any relationship, if the person is only thinking about themselves, if you're not thinking about each other and how you can make each other's day better, it's not going to work. It's a red flag. So, listen, I hope this helps somebody out there. It's really important to not waste our time. It's important to not waste our time. Life is short. We don't want to be in relationships that are not the best for us, relationships that are taking away more than they're giving. And relationships are not all about us. It's not all about our happiness, and it's not all about everything always being perfect, because it will not always be perfect. That's not what it is. But it's also not about being in a toxic situation either. We can't be in a toxic situation if it's not right for us. So do me a favor, let me know in the comments which of the red flags resonated with you the most. Which of them have you seen? Have you ever been in a relationship or been dating somebody and one of those red flags popped up? Let me know. So I appreciate you all checking out the video. See you on the next one.